Welcome to another Coding Things IRL stream. This is stream number 2 of the day. Stream number 5 of these mini series. I think it's actually number 4. Still trying it out. Please bear with me. I know it's not the best format for everybody, but for some reason, YouTube just seems to show it to more people. I have no idea what it is, but it is what it is at this point. So before we go any further, my name is Adam. My channel is called Coding Things IRL because that is what I do. If you could please hit that like button, hit subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the more people we get playing our game, the better it becomes. The game is not publicly available yet. We're still working on it. We're almost there. I'd say 97%. Almost there. Abhishek Kabar, hello, thank you for joining. We're trying to name this game. Lite Brite is unavailable for legal purposes, as you can imagine. We need a good name. And I'm doing great, brother. It's good to be here. I'm so happy to be alive. So, we'll be taking names. I'll decide a few of them, and then we'll post a poll on YouTube and Twitter, and we'll see who wins the name contest. So, if you have an idea for a name for the game, and you want to be credited in the game, let me know, and we'll see if we can add it to the poll. And it just might win. We gotta get it going soon too, so we need as many entries as we can get. Alright, but for now, we need to get to coding. If you were with us earlier, we did some major changes to this game. But they're not here now. I had to roll them back because something was not working. And we need to figure out what that is right now before we are able to move forward. So let's take a look. Alright. First of all, I've stashed the changes, so this is the old code that is not broken. I had to switch to it so that we could show this beautiful picture in the background that I have saved in my database. So now, off on the other screen, I have let me make myself quieter. There we go. I think that's going to be better for the volume. Let me do the intro again. If you're new around here, the channel is called Coding Things IRL. I code IRL, get it? And we're doing mobile streams now. We voted on it, and people voted for desktop streams. But unfortunately, YouTube promotes mobile streams a lot better. We're working on it. We're going to do some more desktop streams and kind of balance them out and see where we're at in terms of performance. But yeah, while we're growing, it seems like the mobile streams, at least for now, are what we're going to do. We may move desktop streams to the weekend because that makes sense to me. Most people are probably around a desktop on the weekend. But it's not the weekend yet. It is the weekday. It is Monday. and we are currently going to be coding today in mobile format. Okay, so we have reverted the changes. Let's take a look at what's going on. So in a new window, let's refresh. So immediately you'll notice the new options. We've super souped it up. It's all here. It looks great. At the moment, I can't add any points. Rectangles are good to go. So let's show off what we've done with the rectangles, huh? So as you can see, there is a rectangle with no fill and a border. Now we can see a rectangle. Well, that's not right. Anyway, it's filled, no border. But we can do this. We can do this. Check this out. Now we can change the border color, and we have a different border color. See that? Nakalasaya Pradeep, I butchered that, I'm sorry. Hey bro, what's up? Came after a long time. I'm glad to have you, brother. I'm glad to have you. We're trying to come up with a name for this game right now, and right now I am just showing off some of the features. Okay, so we got the borders. That's all good to go. And then we introduced this feature right here, which is fill type. So we got dotted. That's what that looks like. I'm not sure. I might go less dotted. Now we also got horizontal stripes. Okay? And we got vertical stripes. And that's as far as I'm going to go right now. I don't think we're going to get much use out of these, but it's just kind of cool. What is the concept of the game? This is a Lite Brite game. This is a children's game. We're going to make it to where you can share your art with anybody, anywhere. We have the ability to save a link, and it looks like this. And I haven't implemented it right now. Well, actually, you see it there. You can save this, and then when you do, it says copy to clipboard. And right now, when you paste that, it won't work right now because of the issues that I have, and that I'm going to go over right in a second. But when I paste it, when it works, it will pull the data out of the database to build the image, and then build the image. That's how I got this one up here. This is one I have saved. I got tired of drawing it every time, so I had to add that in. Okay. And so, yeah, we did not implement rotation. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead, before I move any further, I'm going to get rid of rotation from the GUI because it's going to be confusing if people try to use rotation and it's not working. Okay, the major bug that I need to fix right now is the one that I described. When I pull this up, you see nothing happens. It's no good. We need something to happen, right? Let's fix it. Over here in main.js is where we're loading the state from the database. Get state by ID, load state. Yeah, that happens right here. And you see here we have new shape, and then shape type, shape types dot point. See that there? What we have here is peg dot color, and I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. I think that it comes from the actual parent variable db state. It goes db state dot color. We can just try to do that right away and see if that fixes it. But I'm not sure. I think I actually do save them adjacent. Yeah, no, that's not it. Okay, let's look at the error that we're seeing. That would be a better path forward, an actual guided path. And you see it clear as day. Shape type is not defined. Well, apparently we can't have the named arguments like that. And that's fine. we'll just remove it from there. And then below it, we'll say shape.shapeType equals not that. ShapeTypes.point is what we want. Peg, DB state, we made a typo. Perfect. I don't see any more errors. Ow. Do you notice anything weird about this? Does anybody notice anything weird? Let's see. Yeah, okay. So we need to make it to where we can pass in this color, and I thought we already did, and we did. So we are gonna look into that. All right, so our class that we created earlier is called shape, and that class has a function called method function. But by the way, we don't need these. I learned that if you return there, you don't need the breaks, because returning moves you out of the switch statement. You've escaped the whole function. So that is fantastic. We can reduce 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of code. And we'll take any of the lines of code reductions that we can get. Sorry, I'm texting my wife, who is lovely and I love. Alright, we don't seem to get many hits on the name thing, so we're going to do something else. I need to use this space for something else. I'm saying help a brother out. Like the video and sub. There we go. People usually like the video more when I remind them to like the video. Guys, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And let's go into some more coding, okay? So obviously, all jokes aside, we need some color in this loading this image from the database. So we need to figure out where the color is. I don't remember. So what's interesting is we're passing in state here. So I say that for no reason at all. We just need to go right into the add point function that we have here. And we have a default here, but we're not getting into the default. But this needs to be that. Also, we are passing in, so you got 1, 2, 3. We're not passing in color right here. Let's pass in an optional color. So we'll make it null, and then we'll do this little number right here. Come on, little buddy. There we go. Little question mark, which says if this one is null or undefined or false, or whatever else it might be, possibly -1. I don't know. It's a good question, but if this is falsy, is what it's called, then this will return, it'll return this value, no matter what. So that's what it is, if you can believe that. Let's do another poll. Let's open it up right now. Which is your favorite programming language? JavaScript, Python, C#, other, explain in chat. Let's do it. Which is your favorite programming language? For me, it's got to be C#. For me, it's gotta be C#. C# is the most flexible, versatile, and it's well supported. Lots of NuGet packages, lots of open source projects, and it's growing at a phenomenal rate. All right, we got 2 votes in, 1 vote Python, 1 vote C++. Fair enough. Let's see where else we get with the favorite programming language poll. All right, my friends. We just added a color here to the draw function, which we should be able to pass in. We'll have to modify all the other functions, but for now, we can pass in the color to the draw function for loading the state from the database, which we must do. Let's see the effect. There we go. So now we have colors from the database, and I think we're fully restored there. So now that we're fully restored, I think we're at a good place to do a commit. Heart, heart, heart. 100, heart, laugh, party, 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 laugh, laugh, laugh. All the emojis. Let's continue. Commit time. All right. I'm looking at the GitHub desktop. I know you can't see it, but what I see, man, it's beautiful. Oh man, it's beautiful. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, okay, no. Oh. Oh no, that's beautiful too. Looking good. Looking good and good looking. It looks really good, I'm not lying. It looks good. Comments are removed. No stray typos. The code review is a pass. So I'm going to go ahead and commit it as advanced shapes. Part 1, or just unfinished. I'll call it part 1. We still need to do all the other shapes. We only did point and rectangle so far. So if we go and we start a new one, freshie. Uh-oh, I can't, well, maybe we do need to redo point. So the only thing that we really have here is rectangle. So point is a good point to start. It's a good starting point. Guys, if I look weird, it's because I'm trying to get little snippets for shorts and stuff. Shorts are amazing at getting people on board for the live streams and stuff. Learning all this social media marketing and YouTube stuff, so bear with me. I try to stick to the coding, but there's half of the job that is not coding, and it's not pleasant for me, but I have to do it. Okay, but now we can get back to the coding, because that is part of it. That's a big part of it. You know what I mean? If I spend my whole time talking, I don't think I live up to the coding things IRL name. This is not talking things IRL. This is coding. So let's do some coding. Now, points. What's going on with points? Wait a minute. I can add a point now. Okay, I think I know what's going on. So over there in our class, we have default values for these. And for shape type, we just have the string called point, but we need that to be our enum, not enum, but our constant object, which we are serving as an enum. Thank you, JavaScript. Shape types dot point. That's what we need. Does this fix the issue? Almost. It almost fixes the issue. We have an issue with hovering. A little bit bothersome to me because I think I've had this issue before, though. I kind of see it, like you see that right there, briefly. Very briefly. Very briefly. You see that? Very briefly, a little brief preview, a little brief view. I can't have that. That preview has to show. Let me see if there's an error. No, of course not. But here's the thing. It works for the other shape. All right. This one's arguments are wrong. Okay, I just noticed that. This one's arguments are wrong. So, I mean, I don't know if that's going to fix the issue. Okay, I was hoping it would fix the issue. It didn't fix the issue. Yeah, that makes sense, because if I select it, then it's definitely selected. I think we've proven that when we select the shape type, it does change. So, I mean, I can't think of a good reason why it would only change for... All right, so we got 4 votes. We got 50% Python, 25% C++, so 2 Python, 1 C++, and 1 other explained in chat. But I don't see any explanations in the chat. Can we get that explanation? What is your favorite programming language? Is it Golang? Is it TypeScript? Is it Java, for God's sake? What is it? We all want to know. We must know, brother. Or sister. I can't tell the sex of the person who clicked that. I don't know. We'll call you sibling. You're a sibling to me. Okay, guys. Put the music back on. And let's continue right along. Hopefully not pull our hair out anymore. So we're going to add point. And we have the shape selected. So we're here in add point. It doesn't matter because we're passing in the same arguments. We can even remove that section, but I don't really want to. I like having my defaults there. I like knowing they're there when I go to sleep, and then when I wake up in the morning, I feel safe. I'm checking the number of likes on the stream right now. 7 likes on the stream. Can we get to 8 likes on the stream? All right. I'm happy I get to be here and do this for you guys. It's amazing. It's so amazing. Earlier I said I didn't enjoy this. I lied. I totally enjoy the hell out of this. This is me right here. All right. What's going on though? Because our point is not showing a preview. Point's not showing a preview. People ask me where I'm from on Twitter. Little town called none of your goddamn business. I live in Florida. That is about as specific as I will get with my location. I live in Florida. Florida is a beautiful state. And we're excited to be featured in the upcoming GTA 6 game. I'm currently in talks with Rockstar about making a cameo. Currently, it's not going well. I'll keep you guys posted about the GTA 6 camo featuring Coding Things IRL. I'd be like the fat nerd guy. I forget his name, but GTA 5, the one that's like doing all the crazy stuff behind the scenes with the missions. That's me. All right, what's up? So for add rectangle, we have position, state, and is preview. For add point, we have position, is preview, and then color. The rearrangement of the arguments is probably causing an issue. Position, is preview, and color. Position, state, is preview, color. Just for no freaking reason at all. For no reason at all. We want that to be the color. And for no reason at all, we want this to be that. No reason at all. Position, state, color, right? We haven't really decided. Position, state, is preview, color. But we want this figure, right? We want the null thing because we have null by default here. And if it is null, then we'll go in with the fill color. And we'll chain this also, and we'll go in with the border color as like a super fallback. Triple fallback. The border color, sorry. I don't know if that works. I'm hoping that works. I'm going to keep going, and hopefully I don't look silly. Alright, do we use color anywhere else? No, it just gets passed in there. And there, the fill color we need. Okay, that's fine. So we can't do let color here. But we can do this in the same kind of way. We can do color, question mark, and then I just think to make it look more clear, we need to add a parentheses here. So we can give it a default color, or we'll defer to this particular thing here. Still 4 votes on the poll. So far Python is in the lead with 2 votes out of 4. Do we have any C++ers out there? Or even any JavaScripters? I think I know people who have JavaScript as their favorite language. God bless them. God bless them. Hey, I used to be one of them. Confession. JavaScript used to be my favorite language. Needless to say, it is no longer. Ask me why. Ask me about my opinion on JavaScript. Go ahead, I dare you. I don't know if those messages ever disappear. That's annoying. We have one more vote in for Python. So far, Python is the clear winner, and that reflects pretty much any online poll that you'd see. That's pretty much what I expected. I'll be honest with you. I'll be straight up honest with you. The poll is only to farm interaction. So help me out. Like the video. Interact with it. Feed me. And I'll go away. If you want me to. You could also feed me and I'll stay. It's your preference, just as long as I get fed. Love you, brothers and sisters. We have another uh-oh. Avi Live. We are working on a THREE.JS Lite Brite project that looks like this. And that hello is for you. I mean, it's one that I had saved, but hello. We are showing off some of the new features. Thank you. And we are working on a bug right now that is kind of elusive. When we are hovering over... Thank you. I don't know. Yeah. So when we're hovering over this, we're supposed to have this cool preview, and so we can see what we're about to lay down. But yeah, we don't have that for the dot, and the dot needs the preview. We absolutely need to have the preview for the dot. Also, I'm thinking about defaulting this to some other colors too. I think white's a little bit boring, but yeah. So, I mean, once we're done with all that, then we'll be looking at deploying this, and that's when you guys can play this, and I'm super excited for that. Super excited to have you guys play this game. It's a little too far. All right. Switch that around. Make it thinner. Oh man, when you're doing this, when you guys are playing this game, one piece of advice I will give to you: go slow. Perfection takes time. Absolutely, go slow. I just messed up while I was saying that. So, what is this? I don't know. Tetris pieces. It's Tetris pieces. Anyway. We need to make it to where this preview that you're seeing right here shows up at this point, and I think I just figured it out what it is. Or maybe not. I don't know. I see it, like I see little bits of it, you know what I mean? I see little bits of it, and then I set this, and then I go back here. Oh, maybe not. I definitely saw it a moment ago. I know I did. It doesn't matter. How to continue. Somewhere we have the arguments in the wrong position. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, okay. Getting my train of thought back in order. We need to organize the arguments in the same order because the point function will also serve as a shape function. So it is an outer function and an inner function. GAC21, your favorite programming language is Scratch. You know, I actually have heard of people that say that unironically. No kidding. No kidding. Their argument is that it is a high-level programming language where you can accomplish what you need to do. You can make games with it. You can make, like, simple, like, just learning programs with it. I've never used it myself, so I wouldn't know. But, yeah, there are people who say that unironically. For me, it's C#. Sorry if that hurts anybody's feelings, you know. I know we got some diehard C# haters out there. Sorry, guys. C# has my heart. Okay, my friends. So now we rearranged the order of these arguments in such an arbitrary way that it kind of makes me sick. All of the arguments will go in this order. Position, state. Nope, I lied. It's the one that we have on rectangle. Position, state is preview, color. All of them. So let's go to that add point function. Here it is. Looks like we're good to go. And the color we're passing in right there. Now let me just take a look at the rectangle and see how we're getting the color. We're selecting the color from the GUI. And the GUI is an instance of our shape class. And that makes sense because we're building a shape. And we're creating the shape, so we have an instance of the shape class. That's our controls. And we have an instance of the shape class that is also in the not abstract, concrete. What is actually there. So two mirrored instances, essentially. The tale of two instances of the same class. Sort of. Give or take a few IQ points. So anyway, here we have default colors, fill color and border color. Those look fine. Those look completely fine. The order of these arguments as we have them right here, they're not the same. They are not the same. We need to fix that. Perfect. And perfect. That's done there. We have other instances of the draw function right here. Position, state, is preview, and color. That's exactly what we want. See? Let's look for other instances of dot draw. I know that there is one more. And it's here. I don't want to waste time. Position, state, is preview. No color? Is that okay? It is okay, because we're using that question mark. If we don't have the color, then we're setting it to fill color. And in most cases, we don't need the color. So is this going to work? Yes, it is. But there's a problem. There's always a problem. You can't tell right now, but I can't click these. Can't click. And on top of that, nope, I just can't click. Now I know this from earlier. I know what happened earlier because I couldn't click on the rectangles earlier. I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't remember what it was. I believe it was that the preview was being laid down and that the point trying to be laid over top of it didn't have a chance, essentially. So we could prove that if we wanted to, and we do want to. We do want to. We want to prove it by canceling the mouse move event. So let's go ahead and do that. And the effect of this, if I'm right about what the problem is, should be that we can now not see the preview, yes, and then we can add these down, yes. But you see, they're not the right, they're not, it's supposed to be a preview, or it's not supposed to be a preview. So I think that that's the actual journey that I went on earlier. I think I went through this thinking that this was the issue, but in reality, we were passing in the wrong arguments. I could be wrong. If anybody was watching earlier, let me know. And it would only be on the click event that it was happening. Let me go ahead and get rid of that so we can read the console a little better, because we're about to console log something. So let's go back to shape, add point, and we will console log all of the arguments at this point. Can I explain what thunk does in React? Not very well, to be honest. I know that thunk is used in Redux in React, and it is used, I believe, as a reducer to where you can signal to your components. So in a normal component tree, the components do not, your components react upward. So you'll have a child, and then you have a prop that you're passing in to the child. And if you do something to that prop, you have to call it back. That's the normal React method. And with thunk, you have a central store, and what you're doing is on your component, you're changing the store, and then the store sends a signal, I think via thunk, and I could be wrong, I could be completely wrong about it, to all of the components that the component tree has been updated. I could be totally wrong. Hemong Bandari, thank you for joining again. What does happiness mean to me? And hang on, bump. Okay, there we go. Now I can read it. The emoji thing is in the way. What does happiness mean to me? And do you think the ultimate goal of life is happiness? Okay, I'll answer those questions separately. What does happiness mean to me? Nothing. Happiness is meaningless to me. What matters is purpose to me. And then, as far as the purpose goes, which kind of goes into your second question, the purpose in life has to be to create. It has to be to create things, to nurture things. And for me, the most significant thing that I've created and nurtured is my children, followed by my work. And those are the things that give me meaning in my life. So in a sense, in an ironic way, that's my happiness. But also, I don't think that happiness is the goal of life. I think the goal of life is to work, basically, and to be content with working. Does that make sense? To work and to be happy about it, and to share with people, and to be completely selfless. In a way, not completely selfless. You don't have to be, Messiah, but That's what I think you should consider others first. It's hard, very hard. Are you quizzing me? Is this an interview, random person? Can I explain what is meant by an asynchronous operation? Okay, so a synchronous operation operates on a single thread. So any traditional programming language normally will run on a single thread. Everything happens sequentially, one right on top of the other. And normally in programming, it is line by line. And there's other nuanced stuff, and sometimes that's programming language by programming language. But it all does the same thing. It gives you an order of things to happen, and that all happens on the same thread. Now with asynchronous, you have the ability to branch off of the thread, and then some other things that allow you to listen to things. You could fire events. There's many different ways that it's accomplished in many different programming languages, but the goal of it is to get off of the thread and accomplish things outside of the thread so that you can do multiple things at once. And an example of that I did recently was on Python. We had an asynchronous call that was used to make a polyphonic chord. So we were using a library to play a sound, and we couldn't play the sounds one on top of the other, so we had to use I forget what the async lib in Python is, but we had to use that to play the sounds simultaneously. Didn't work because there was some other buffer related stuff with the class that wasn't immediately clear. That's kind of another reason why Python is not the best language, but I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers. But the point of async is to do things outside of the normal thread, multitasking. Got any more brain busters, brother? Hang on, let me chat GPT it real quick. Guys, I am not a real programmer. This has been a ruse the entire time, brothers. I love you guys. Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. I didn't mean to try to antagonize you or whatever, brother. Middleware is a tough concept, but the thing that you have to remember about middleware is that every request you can think of as a request you can think of as a single thread. It starts somewhere. It starts like in C#. It starts at the startup.cs. Actually, that might not even be true. That might be the program that runs. I'll have to take a look at that. But there is I think it starts at program.cs and it ends wherever you're serving the request. So usually if you're in MVC, that's a controller. Or you have the view. And so I'll read that in a moment. That's probably really smart. And so the middleware is just what happens in between your main action on every single thread. And it happens between your entry point and your main action. So if you have an MVC framework, then you have, just to keep going back to C# as the example, you come in on the program CSS, and defined in there usually is some of your middleware, like authentication and stuff like that. And that's where you are checking each of the requests to see, is this request authenticated? Does it have the right cookie? Is it not expired? All of that stuff is done with your middleware. And it's hard. It's a difficult concept to imagine because it seems like a very bloated process to do on every single request. But that's why there's caching, and there is caching. Caching will help to optimize that. There you go, caching. Third-party services, that's another thing. Azure, Active Directory. There's plenty. I hope that explains things. I love talking about programming, so if you have questions about programming, I love answering them. All right, let's go to the poll. 9 votes so far. Margins thinned a little bit. So far, I'm surprised we have no love for JavaScript. Does everybody hate JavaScript? Also, nobody asked me about my opinion on JavaScript. Guess it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter. Fair enough. We are up to 8 likes, I think. 8 likes by my thing over here. Which, by the way, is just me watching my own stream so that I can get the count up. Anyway, Hemang Bandari, don't let a mad world tell you that success is anything other than a successful present moment. Eckhart Tolle. Yeah, I do. That's a great quote. That's a great quote. I think that's probably right, but obviously you have to be pretty conscientious of a lot of things at the time. Like I couldn't sit here and, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't stream all day because I have other things. Do you know what I mean? I guess at that point it doesn't become a success anymore. So maybe that bleeds right over back into it being logical. Maybe. I don't know. I'm a bad philosopher. A better coder. You like the explanation? Woo! That's great. I'm glad you like the explanation because it's going to make a great video for other people who might also like the explanation. Feel free to ask any other questions too. I'm here for another like 20 minutes. I'm doing a little bit of coding, but like I said, I love answering questions, and it makes for good content because people are also asking the same questions. People who are stuck on the same thing. I'd say middleware is a pretty intermediary programming concept. It's not like you're stuck on loops and stuff, so that's good. Intermediary stuff is pretty hard to come by or hard to think of. Middleware is a good one. I'm not using middleware, I don't think. Well, there is a middleware in here. So we have Express.js, which I hate. And we come in on Index.js over here. And I think this rate limit is an example of middleware. I'm not entirely sure. But it just basically sits in between where you're serving your request, which for me is down here. Down here. It's literally in the middle. App.use, yeah, that is middleware. App.use is middleware. See that? So it literally sits in the middle of where I'm serving my data and where everything comes in. All right, you got more questions, brother. I love it. So in an asynchronous operation, let's say I have a website and it process user data for login. So if I don't have a synchronous operation that process/fetch data, then does my website stop? It is synchronous in general. Oops, accidentally copied the same thing twice. No worries. I think I understand what you're saying. So in the context of a front end, usually what you're talking about is reloading the page. So it's not, that is not entirely the extent of what asynchronous is, but that's a good example of when something is not asynchronous because it all happens at once. And you can do an experiment. Try to reload the page, do location reload, and then immediately after do alert. You'll notice you can't go anywhere until the alert is satisfied. That's because you're on a synchronous operation. Bad philosopher, better coder. Sounds like a good quote on a t-shirt. That might work. Yeah, that might work. Now that I have 500 subscribers, I think I'm right around the corner from being able to merch on YouTube, which would be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty sweet. I mean, I could always set up my own e-commerce website, Next.js and MongoDB and all that stuff. It's really not that hard. I've done it before. I may do that. Brother, you're confusing me. You're confused. No, I'm just kidding. You're fine. You are fine. Okay. So, This is also middle. Anytime you have app.use, look, it even says it in the comments. I'll be entirely honest with you. I chat GPT'd this, so I didn't write a lick of this. Maybe a little bit down here, but yeah, this is where the middleware is. There you go. Middleware. Where is it? It's in the middle. Middleware. That's going to make a great short. All right, where are we? I completely forgot where we are. Okay, so we're passing in these pegs, and there is preview, and they're not supposed to look like that. That sucks. Why are they like that? They weren't like that a second ago, by the way. How did that happen then? That's the question. So there's the non-preview one, as you can see. And those are previewed. So in general, it's a must-have to incorporate an async operation. If a user interaction with my website, not really, dude. Not really. You once the page is loaded, then your main thread on JavaScript is resting. You're not doing anything, so you can call functions and stuff like that, and it'll enqueue on the main thread, and it will dequeue, and that's completely fine. That's for like pressing buttons and stuff like that. Like, if you want a web page, if you want a web request to go out without making a refreshing the page, then what you need to do on the JavaScript side, and you know, you're probably using like a front-end framework like React, so you might be using Axios or Fetch or whatever. But what you need to do is something called an XML HTTP request, which is an asynchronous operation. So it does something, and it doesn't necessarily know when it's going to get a response back. So it has to wait, and it uses something called a promise, and it returns that promise, and then the promise has a callback function for when the promise is returned, and in this case it's when the HTTP response comes back. And then when that happens, you can specify what happens with the response. Do you think that AI will pose an actual threat in the programming industry? No. I think the opposite. Absolutely. I think that it will, I mean, you see how much I'm using it. You see how much I'm using Copilot and ChatGPT and stuff like that. I wouldn't be as far as I was at all without that stuff. So if anything, it will. I mean, it makes my job so much easier and more fun. And so, if that's any indication, I think that will continue. I haven't seen anything that looks like autonomous AI that can do coding. I think there was a study that was done on it that turned out that the current AI models can only solve on their own without any prompting. I don't know the specifics, but in the study they did a very bad job. I think more and more people are realizing that you know, that's not going to happen, dude. It's hard to imagine that, you know, a company that creates something would want you to think that it's evil. Would want at least a portion of the population to think that it's evil. But think about it. If you have, let's say, 20% vocal minority that claim that AI is evil, and the rest of the 80% are people like me that are enjoying it, what does that do for your marketing? It creates a constant conversation. These people that are anti-AI are so anti-AI that they will get on Twitter every day and talk about it. They'll get on YouTube and they'll make YouTube videos. You see it all the time. It gets clicks. Anyway, that's my conspiracy theory behind the whole conversation of whether or not AI will take anybody's job. I think that the notion is silly to begin with. Not to say that I've never thought that before. It's convincing sometimes. You know, I type in ChatGPT, convert this to C++, and it's able to do a job that would take me hours. And that I understand that scares people, because if it doesn't take you hours, what are you doing? Or if it doesn't take somebody hours, you know, they don't need you. You know what I mean? Hemang Bandari, I just saw a video of a graphic designer who lost his job to an AI model, which is trained on his own framework, which he had produced for his company in the last 6 months of his job. Wow. Well, that is obviously something that sounds very scary. But, I don't know, man. I'll have to check that out. Good thing I'm not a graphic designer. Also, some of that stuff is a little bit in the moment, right? Maybe this graphic designer lost his job, right? Because his boss decided that, okay, you know, I can just use this AI to do this job because it's doing it right now, and it's doing it more efficiently. But let's see what happens in a few months. That's all I have to say. Let's see what happens when this person has to funnel more money into the AI research than into paying for an actual employee. Or just simply when it doesn't work reliably. I don't want to get too specific, but I have experience in this. Okay. I was going to be replaced by AI, but not anymore. Let's just... Oh. AI cannot do the same job that people can do. It's not even close. I honestly believe that anything in the contrary, any stories like that, just maybe just have a little bit of influence from big AI companies. Maybe just a little bit. One cannot fathom the amount of money behind big AI and big GPU now married together, unholy matrimony. But man, do I want an RTX 4090. Random person. AI will up standards of developers, but doesn't replace their job. At the end of the day, a good programmer is always needed because AI can only fix certain code. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, at the end of the day, it's what a human wants. And who's best to fulfill what a human wants? I think a human. You might get something that works 99% of the time. Maybe. But for that 1%, like let's say your business is down. Let's say you're stuck. Let's say on the 100th day, it doesn't work. For some reason. Or breaks or whatever. Who are you going to call? Oh, you can't post links here, I guess. I have seen that video in my feed. I'll definitely check it out, man. But my advice to anybody, don't listen to it, man. Just go in it head first, man. Make some cool stuff. Make some cool stuff, man. Anybody can do it. Anybody who's smart enough can do it. Let's face it. Not anybody can do this. And that's the whole point. Not anybody can envision a design in their head and spend a month carrying out that design. That's not something that everybody can do. Most people just spend more time on Instagram. Random person, how long have I been programming? I'd say 8 years. 8 years. Possibly 9. I'd say I've been programming 9 and I've been working 7.5 to 8. I don't know. I lost count. It's been a long damn time. And for most of the time, I've been pretty unsatisfied with my programming career. Wasn't really what I wanted, and that's because I kind of just let myself float to the next thing without buckling down and deciding what I wanted to do with my career. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do now. I'm making this game, sitting here, entertaining y'all. It's fun. It's a lot funner than my regular job, I'll tell you that right now. Which, by the way, I have to go back to very soon. Very soon. Very, very soon. I think it would be fair if my next stream was a desktop stream. What's up, Dizlick? Dizlick. I like the name, brother. We're making a Lite Brite game here. And, you know, chilling and talking about it. Not much. I got a little issue that I'm dealing with, but it's fine. I'll fix it, I guess. It's a pretty intense delay. That sucks. Alright, so this preview, see if I can get this fixed before I have to go. I disabled the mouse move event. And right now what we're getting here is previews. And I think what we have is the arguments in the wrong order at some point. Let's see where we can find that. So the draw function works fine on when we're loading the state. So if I bring this up from 0, it should look normal, I think. Please look normal. It doesn't look normal. Okay, what happened? This is a good indication, right? No errors? No errors. Thank you. Thank you. Heart, heart. Guys, we got 13 votes in, 8% JavaScript, 31% Python, and 23% C++. And we only got 6 minutes left. What's going to happen? Will C++ upset Python? Let's see in 6 minutes. I don't know, I might go a little longer. Probably shouldn't. We'll see. We'll see. It's important to find your purpose. Find purpose of your skills. So do what you enjoy is important. I think that is a good tip. But also you have to seek meaning in your life. That comes first. That's very important. That's what I had to do. I found my children. And then I knew, then I had the motivation to move forward with my career. That was just me personally. You're currently learning C++ and it's really hard. Consider switching to Python. I'll be straight up with you. Consider switching to Python. Just dip your fingers into Python. You might like it better, but always keep that bookmark on C++. I actually took 2 college classes at the same time, Python and C++. And it was useful to see them side by side. I came into that already knowing how to program in JavaScript. I definitely recommend looking at Python. A lot of that stuff, it's not going to confuse you too much because a lot of that stuff just you'll recognize it. You'll be like, oh, I remember this from C++. Loops, oh, variables, oh, arrays, oh, functions, oh, classes. If you're that far in your course. Let me ask you, if you don't mind, Dizlick, if you don't mind, what was your response to the poll? Was your favorite language C++? Usually, people's favorite language is not C++. Usually, C++ gets a lot of hate because of the amount of, like, text you have to put on a program to make it work properly. A lot of overhead. Dizlick, well, C++ kind of attracted me because it mostly covers all fields while other languages cover some. Yeah, it's hard, but I heard you can learn other languages way easily if you learn C++. I voted for C++. Well, good, man. C++ needs love because C++ is a great language. Brother, I definitely encourage you to branch out to other languages and try them out. C++ is probably one of the best languages. For me, though, I would go C# as my favorite language. It's a little bit more versatile and providing a little bit, almost the same flexibility as C++. C++, you can literally create your own language. If you don't like C++, just make your own language. That's how JavaScript was created. That's how it runs right now. It runs on something called the Chromium engine, I think. No. It's something else open source. Let's look it up. The V8 engine. Here it is. We can take a look at the source code if you like. You're planning on learning HTML this summer. I want to continue with web development. That's a smart choice, my brother. That's a smart choice. Although I would definitely, this day and age, I would definitely stick with C++. And you gotta realize that you're in for years of just learning one thing. And you probably picked the right thing with C++. Some people say you should go with Rust, though. I don't know anything about that. I literally know nothing about that. Anyway, this is the V8 engine. So let's take a look at the source right here. So we can start to see stuff that we recognize here. JSON. Let's look at that. So JSON parser. This is actually just, what, C? What is .cc? I'm not sure. Usually C++ is just CPP. This does look like C++. It is C++. Okay, well, I guess .cc is a C++ extension. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. I know that C is similar to C++, but I think that this is C. I don't think that templates exist in C. This is C++. I don't think that templates exist in C. But yeah, look at all this code that just goes into running JavaScript. So you take this block of text and it goes into this engine, and then that's your JavaScript. Pretty cool, huh? Dead Inside, thank you for your question. Yeah, this is THREE.js right here. We got THREE.js in the house. I'm new to THREE.js. It's a very new thing for me. I just messed that up. See if I can back navigate to it. Nope. I'm currently dealing with a bug. Several bugs, actually. Let's deal with this one. This is the worst kind of bug right here. And JavaScript is the worst for it. Just doesn't appear anywhere. Yes, mostly it's my fault. But I can still complain. This is my stream. Okay. Let's take a look at what's going on. This was working a moment ago. So, I mean, I just sat here and I did something silly and messed it up a moment ago. Nico with a suggestion. Camera below and code above, because seeing the code is harder under the text. No need for the chat, and if ever used. My brother, thank you for the suggestions. However, I believe that I've witnessed that the chat, having the chat on the screen, actually improves interaction and thus improves the performance of the stream. And then secondly, having the bright light mostly, which, you know, we don't have it right now. Oh, look at that. Okay. There you go. We'll fix it in a second. Anyway, having the pretty image in the middle of the screen is better for getting people to click on it too, because they see that pretty thing in the middle of the screen. They're like, "What is that?" I will move the code though. Nico knows that. Nico knows that he can turn off the chat. I'll let Nico speak for himself though. That'd be fair. Okay, I'll do what Nico said though. I think, yeah. Jeez. I did kind of get to it slowly. Guys, I'm working on the internet connection issue that I'm having out here. I think that's a lot of the reason that you guys are seeing the delay that you're seeing. I get packet drops and all sorts of stuff because I am out in a shed and I am on Wi-Fi and it's not extended outward anyway. So, I apologize, you guys. Alright, let's see where we're at with the stream. Let's see where we're at with the stream. How many likes do we have on the stream, you guys? Let's see. I gotta go to the YouTube app. There we go. There we go. How come it's not there? Home. There we go. There's me. Where does it tell you the likes? There we go. 8 likes on the stream. Let's see if we can get to 9 before I die of old age. I'm currently 31 years old, so we have about 47 years, give or take, 25 years or less. Yeah, that's fair. You know what, Nico? My next stream I'm gonna do is gonna be a desktop stream. Here, I'll do this. I think I got, yeah. Here, I'll do this for you, brother. 1 second. Get this more organized. Okay, I got studio mode. Okay, let me move this one. Man, I still want to show the chat though. Maybe if I just get rid of me, that'd be pretty sweet. I don't need to be here, right? You guys will watch the stream if I am not here. Nah, I'm just kidding. There we go. I'll move it up just a little bit. Hopefully you'll be able to see that better. Oh yeah, you can see what I'm doing. What if the camera was smaller and circular overlaid? I have to do, yeah, I was looking at that, making it circular. but it's a little bit of an involved process. You have to like do an overlay or whatever. There we go. I'm a little smaller now. By me. Make the chat a little small. I don't think we need to make the chat smaller. I think it just needs to be like almost transparent. You know what I mean? Almost. I think we can do like some color. Yeah, I know what to do. Hold on a second. So get that music going again so that I can feel it. I know what to do. So we need to add a filter onto the chat that is a chroma key, and we'll have to remove the blacks. So custom color, and we'll select color. Okay. I can't see it anymore. Select color. Pick screen color. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me do that again. Key color will change to blue for now. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Okay. Ooh, I still can't see it. Okay. What? White? Oh, I gotta just delete it. Dang it. Okay, cool. All right, now we'll try that again. Filter. And we will do add. Sorry, just 1 second, you guys. What does Python cover? To solve this, look up CSP policy on HTML meta tags. CSP policy on meta tags. What is that? Yeah, Nico, that's a good idea. What does Python cover? Tell me, can you use like its functions? Yeah, you can do almost exactly what you can do with C++. There's no types, and there's no curly braces. Everything is done by indentation, which is very weird. It was to me, at least. Okay, chroma key is what we want. Okay, and then we want to custom color it, and the custom color that we want is going to be pick screen color, and we're going to pick that color. Okay. That works, kind of. What do you think of that, Nico? Actually, that. Not ready yet. Hold on. I gotta make the VSC a little bigger. Bring it down just a little bit. And there we go. And then I think I'm gonna take my little logo here and move it out of the way. Just move it down here. Can you still see the chat? Yeah, you pretty much can. Yeah, I like that. Let me do one more filter on this. Color correction is what I want. Color multiply. Pick screen color. Ooh. Ooh, there we go. Okay, okay, okay. Ooh, we can change the hue of it. That's kind of cool, huh? Make it brighter. It doesn't look any better. Contrast. Gamma. Ugh. Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm absolutely. Are some people's messages like not showing up there? Kinda. Ew. Content security policy. Just disable your local computer to fix the bug on file load. Oh, cool. Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Check that out. Okay, sweet. Let's do that. Is laziness towards programming common even though I really like it? Absolutely. Absolutely. I am unmotivated most days. Not recently because this is going pretty well. Absolutely, my brother. And what you might be experiencing is this. Don't take offense to this. You might be a little bit afraid of not being able to progress a little bit. Like you might be like stalling or procrastinating just because it's painful to like sit there and not be able to produce anything. And that's completely normal. I do that all the time. I'm doing that right now. I mentioned that earlier. The only way to deal with that is to sometimes you got to treat yourself like a baby and just like do baby stuff. You know, I'm gonna make a calculator today or whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think it'd be better like that. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. That's the most visible that it's gonna be. We could even reduce the size of the VSC editor. To disable is allow everything. Like that? Or is it just called allow everything? I'm just gonna look it up, my brother or sister. No cache, right? You must add some restrictions when you post your code online. All right. What are you talking about? Oh, you mean when we deploy it? Yeah. Well, what we can do in that case is we can defer that to the .env, and I'll have to do that later because I have my DB key and the .env. So, yeah, thank you for that tip. We'll deal with it later. Oh, I was even in the wrong meta. I'm so dumb. All right, let's get rid of that for now. We can add a little to-do here to remind ourselves. To-do add CSP meta. Thank you so much, Dead Inside. I appreciate that. What we will do is we will have this meta, and probably a lot of this stuff we'll have to revise. We'll have it working as a with the .env file, so that we can deploy safely with different variables than our development environment. And we can house things there that we don't want committed into our GitHub, because remember, we have to treat our GitHub as if it's like, you know, gonna be breached by some asshole. Alright, guys. Here we have this. What's going on? Alright, well, in my opinion, what I think is going on is, like, I'm gonna hop off. I currently have a temperature. I'll maybe sleep. I'll look forward for your next streams. Good luck. Thank you so much. It's really awesome to have you. I saw that you subscribed. Thank you so much. Look forward to having you on the next stream. And I hope you feel better soon. I'm not sure the hue shift is working there, so I just changed the colors back. I super like this layout a lot better. I think that this is the boss layout for live streams. Super boss. Here, let me see how it looks on the phone real quick. No problem, brother. Peace. What was that? Undertaking. You mean understand? You must have done the autocorrect on the phone. Understanding. Alright, we gotta do something about this. Love, love, love. I think that the chat really does need to take up a lower profile than that. Sorry I keep doing this, but I'm looking at it on my phone. I think it's fine if it's just like that. Even like, make it a little even bigger than that. More like that. Yeah, I don't want things to be covered up completely. This would be a good next time thing. Alright guys, I think I'm going to head out for now. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this let's go ahead and get these issues resolved here as much as we can. I know it's an arguments order thing. Should be pretty simple. So we got main.js. We're doing the load from state. That stuff's all happening here. And state false. No. I think that's right instead. Let's see. I changed the order of the arguments and I didn't change them there. No? Let's see what's going on. Well, that's not right. It's good to know that that's not right. Set it to point, setting a UUID, setting draw, setting state, pegs. We didn't change any of that. The only thing we changed was the order of the arguments. This is the shape.draw, not the point.draw, so we shouldn't have changed those arguments, right? Sorry, damn itch on my nose. All right, so the order of those arguments is like, we got shapes, so all the way down here. This one, position state is preview color. So let's follow that. Position state, false, and color. But that needs to be preceded by this little guy. All right, perfect. Did we fix it? No. How not? How did we not fix it? Oh, this is great. We have an undefined error. So that's undefined. Oh, did I just type there? I didn't know you could type there. It's crazy. So how is that what's undefined? I don't get it. All right, I gotta go now. I have obligations. I have a regular job. Possibly a stream later tonight so that we can get this resolved. And I may go ahead and do a no talking stream. I was gonna do this one no talking, but I had to talk. I had to do it. I had to open my big fat mouth. Later, when my medication wears off, we'll be able to do a stream, and I probably will need to not talk so I'm not distracted. That's probably a little bit of what's going on right now because I've been up since 4 a.m. doing this stuff. And we got a lot done earlier, so I'm cool with it. I hope you guys are too. Bear with me. Before we go, we got 17 votes on the poll. What is your favorite programming language? And we're going to end it there. Boom. And the results of the poll. What is your favorite programming language? We got other explained in the chat, 35%. We did have a few explanations. Not really, but that's fine. Dead inside. I'm currently looking into whether or not I should put it on GitHub. I'm more leaning to making it public, so that maybe you could help. Yeah, well, we're almost done with this one, you know. But I do want the GUI to be doing a little bit better. Just let me think about it. That's all I got to say. Let me think about it. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to make something in front of people, and maybe it might be good to have other people working on it. Not convinced yet, though, because weighing the pros and cons of that. I plan on discussing it with a lawyer, but I haven't had time to do that yet because I've just been so busy coding it. I think for the next project, though, we might bring some people in. We might do a pilot project, you know, where we go in and do something similar to this and see how we work together. Does that make sense? That might be good. All right, but I gotta go. I appreciate you joining. You could drop. I don't know if that went through. I'll see you guys on the next stream. All right, peace.